Okay guys, so in this video we are looking at a worksheet from White Rose Maths, okay, and it's looking specifically at multiplying fractions by integers. So multiplying normal and irregular fractions by a whole number. Okay, as ever guys, please feel free to pause the video, try and attempt all these questions yourselves or the ones you can do, and then come back, press play, and feel free to take any notes, okay, for today's video. Okay, this is aimed at around Key Stage 2 maths, Key Stage 3 maths, and even GCSE foundation and higher tier. Okay, this is question number 1 guys. Work out the calculations. Part A, 2/7 times 2. Now it's got like a pictogram here, so it's got like a picture version, a pie chart. This is 2/7 and this is 2/7. Now if I count the total number of coloured parts, I get 4/7. Essentially, when you multiply a fraction by an integer, you multiply the numerator by the integer, okay, and keep the denominator the same. Okay, so here we have 2/7, okay, plus 2/7, I get 4/7, okay. Essentially, it's done on here. But this one, what do I have? Well, it goes from 0 to 1, okay, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay, so it's representing 3 lots of 3/10. Each one of these represents 3/10. Okay, that's 3/10, and that's 3/10. 3 lots of 3/10 is 3/10 plus 3/10 plus 3/10, or alternatively 3 times 3, which is 9. So the answer is just 9/10. Okay, you multiply the numerator by the whole number and you keep the denominator fixed, so you keep that the same. Okay, so 2A, draw a bar model to show 2/5 times 4. Okay, so 2/5 times 4, the answer we're going to get is 8/5. So it's going to be 1 whole and 3/5. Okay, so imagine that I'm going to be splitting it into fifths. Okay, it's not my best artwork, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing actually. So that's gone into fifths, and then I'm going to draw like another one. Okay, there we go. So we want 4 lots of these. So I've got 2 squares there that I've coloured in. Okay, I've got 2 squares here which I've coloured in. Okay, the next 2 squares, I've got 1 here and 1 here. Okay, that's 2/5. And then lastly, I've got 1 and 2. Okay, so I've been colouring in 2 out of the 5 squares, and I've been doing that 4 times using 4 different shades of colour, if that makes sense. But essentially what I've done is I've done 2 times 4, which is 8, and kept the denominator the same. So the answer that I get is 8/5, which is known as a top heavy fraction or an improper fraction, and I changed that into a mixed number. Okay, so the answer is 1 3/5, or 8/5, or 1.6 if you want your answer as a decimal. Okay, either one of those answers is appropriate. Okay, part B, so work out the multiplication. Well, I do 2 times 4 all over 5. Okay, 2 times 4 is 8, so the answer is 8/5, or 8 over 5. Okay, which can be written as 1 3/5 as a mixed number. Okay, how many 5s go into 8 is 1, and the remainder is 3, so the remainder is written as a fraction. Question number 3, work out the calculations. 1/3 times 1 is 1/3. Okay, anything times 1 doesn't actually change your answer. Okay, next one, 1/3 times 2 becomes 2/3. Okay, I multiply the numerator by the whole number. The next one, 1/3 times 3 becomes 3/3, which simplifies to 1. Okay, Next one, a third times 4, I get the answer of 4/3. Okay, apologies about the lack of spacing here, but hopefully you can see my answers. A third times 5, well, the answer becomes 5/3. Okay, I multiply the numerator by the whole number. Next one, 1/3 times 6, well, I get 1 times 6, which is 6. I get 6/3, which simplifies to 2. Okay, for part B, 3/4 times 1, so we'll do it over here. We get the answer of 3/4. Anything times 1 doesn't change. My answer remains unchanged. The next one, 3/4 times 2 goes to 6/4, okay, which simplifies to 3/2. 3 lots of 3/4 goes to 9/4. Okay. 3/4 times 4 goes to 12/4, which simplifies to 3 because 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3/4s are 12. So in brackets I put it here actually. So the answer is 12/4, but it simplifies to 3, okay, because it means 12 divided by 3. Next one, I've got 3/4 times 5, so the answer is 15/4. The next one is 3/4 times 6, so I get 18/4, which simplifies to 9/2. Okay, so it says, what patterns do you notice? Well, for part A, it goes up a third each time. Okay, so the answer essentially is adding on a third from your previous answer. And for part B, you're essentially adding on 3/4, okay, to your previous answer to work out the next answer, okay, in your term or in your sequence, you could say. Okay, so this is like a sequence that is in terms of thirds: 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, okay, 4/3, 5/3, 6/3, and yeah, and then it goes on, etc. And then it'd be 7/3, 8/3, 9/3, etc., etc. Okay. Question number 4, work out this multiplication, 2 2/5 times 3. Now I'm going to change this to an improper fraction. So I do 5 times 2, which is 10, plus the 2 on the top, I get 12. So the answer is 12/5 times 3. Now when I multiply a fraction by a whole number, I multiply by the numerator and keep the denominator fixed. So keep the denominator the same. Okay. So I get 36/5. Or, okay, if I write that in its simplest form in terms of mixed numbers, that's going to be 7 1/5. So 7 whole and then 1/5. Okay. And then here I can just count the number of squares I've got. Okay, so I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, 12 threes are 36. Okay, that becomes 24 there. That becomes 36 when you add up all of the coloured boxes, so coloured orange boxes. Okay, what method do you use? Okay, I would go for like this top method, so I'd work it out the bog standard way. Okay, I don't mind pictograms and pictures, but I think at this stage is understanding a technique and then just being able to implement. So I've got nothing against like the picture or anything, but I'm someone that prefers to like do it like using our rules of multiplication of fractions, okay, because in the exam you may not have time to draw like a picture to represent your sum. Okay, it may help some visual learners, so again I think it depends on what type of learner you are, okay, whether you're a visual kinesthetic or like an audio or auditory learner, okay, but I prefer to use like the bog standard way, okay, without pictograms or like charts or whatever. Okay, I like to do like the bog standard way, which might seem a bit boring to some, but hey ho, that's just my opinion. Okay, so match the calculations. Question number 5: 2/3 plus 2/3. that's going to be 4/3. Okay. A quarter times 24, that's going to be 6. I get 24 quarter, which is 6. This one here, you're going to add up here, so you're going to have 12 over 4, which goes to 3. Here you're going to have 20 over 12, which simplifies. Okay, but we'll leave it like that just for a second. And then here we're going to have 3/2 multiplied by 3. So I'm going to get 9/2 for this one. Okay, or 4.5. This one simplifies to 10 over 6 or 5/3. Okay, for that one. So, a half times 6 is equal to 3. 18 times a quarter goes to 9/2. Okay, a sixth times 10 goes to 10/6 or 5/3 if you simplify that. Okay, 12 times a half goes to 6, and then 1/3 times 4 goes to 4/3. Okay, so matching these up, so that one goes to there, that one goes, that one goes to here, sorry. Let's just delete that line and do that again. That one goes there, okay. That one goes there, okay. That one's been done already. Okay, that one goes here, and then this one goes here, guys. Okay, so I'll work them out separately and then I'll match them up. Okay, of course, you are welcome to obviously match it up as you go along, but I thought it's easier to work out the sums first and then match them up. Okay, so hopefully it makes sense what I've done so far. Okay, again, any questions, any queries, put it in the comments at the end of the video. Okay, question number 4, guys. Work out this multiplication. Again, I'm going to change that to a top-heavy fraction or an improper fraction. So 5 times 2 is 10, plus the 2 is going to be 12. So I get 12/5 multiplied by 3. Okay, which equals to 36/5. Okay, I've just actually realised that that is actually the same question on the previous page, but that's fine. Okay, so, okay, and then if you count the squares, you get 12 coloured squares, 12 coloured squares, and 12 coloured squares. If you add them up, guys, you get 36/5, okay, or 7 1/5 as your fraction, or 7.2. Okay, so question number 5 I've done on the previous page. So 4/3, okay, 4/3 is going to go to this one. 6 is going to go to this one. Okay, this one's going to be 12/4, which is going to be 3. That one goes there. Okay, that one goes there, and that one goes there. Okay, question number 6, guys. Write each answer as a mixed number in its simplest form. So 1 1/5 times 2. So change that to a top heavy. So I get 7/5 times 2, which is going to be 14/5. Okay, which simplifies to 2 4/5. Okay, for that one. Okay, next one. Okay, I've got 2 1/6 times 3. Well, changing that to a top heavy, I get 13 out of 6 times by 3. So that's going to be 39 out of 6. Okay, which simplifies to, so divide top and bottom by 3. You're going to get 13 over 2, which simplifies to 6.5. Part C, okay, 2 2/5 times 4. Okay, again, working this out, guys. Okay, 5 times 2 is 10, plus the 2 is going to be 12. I'm going to get 12/5 multiplied by 4, which goes to 48/5. Okay, which then can be simplified in mixed number terms into 9 3/5. Okay. Next one, part D. So again, 2 and 2/5 times 5, well, it's going to be 12/5 times 5. And this time the answer you get is a whole number. Because I do 12 times 5, which is 60. It's 60 over 5, which simplifies to 12, guys. Okay, for that one. Okay, part E. Okay, I'm going to have 7 lots of, okay, 7/6, so it's going to be 49 out of 6, which simplifies, okay, to 8 and 1/6. Okay, doing this top of my head, guys. Okay, sorry about the lack of space here, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Let's just delete this part. Okay, next one, I've got 11/15 times 7, when I'm going to have 77 out of 15, which I can write as a mixed number, okay, which is going to be 5 and 2/15. That one. Okay, question number 7, fill in the missing numbers. So 2 and something sevenths times 3 is 6 and 6/7. Well, 2 times 3 gives me 6. Okay, if I multiply 2/7 by 3, okay, I'm going to get 6/7. Okay, so I can do it by like a separation here. I can do the whole number 2 times 3, which is 6, and then I can do 2/7 times 3, which gives me 6/7, and add my answers together. Next one, okay, something 2 and something over 8 times 3 is 7.5. So let's just work backwards here to make the answer easier. So 7.5 divided by 3. Okay, well that's going to give me 2.5. Okay, so 2.5 is going to be 2 and 4/8. Okay, as my fraction. Okay, because 4/8 simplifies to a half. Question number 8. Tommy's dog eats 3.5 tins of food a week. How many tins does he eat a year? So assuming that we have 365 days in a year, okay, and a quarter actually, okay, if I'm going to be picky, okay, so you'd multiply this by 365 and a quarter, okay, and then you can obviously work it out, okay, on there using your calculator or something, okay, but let's just go ahead actually and work it out on our calculator, okay, to make the sum a bit easier for ourselves. So I've got 3.5, okay, multiplied by 365.25. So it's 1,278, okay, and as a fraction, that's going to be 3/8 left. So that means how many tins? Well, in total, okay, it would be 1,279, because obviously, yes, that last part is not eaten, but I'm going to need 1,279 in order to have that full amount, okay, for that one, okay. So again, that answer is correct actually, but obviously it's debatable depending on what you choose. If you just choose times it by with 365 without the quarter, then you'll get a slightly different answer. If you times it by 366, then you'll get a different answer. But I've actually multiplied it by 365 and a quarter to be exact, okay? So no one can actually penalise me or, yeah, say that I'm being like overestimate or underestimating, okay? Question number 9. A grey block is 5.5 centimeters tall. A red block is 2 1/5, okay, centimeters tall. Jack builds a tower using grey blocks. Alex builds a tower using red blocks. The towers are exactly the same height. How many blocks could there be in each tower? Well, let's just go for like a whole number. So here I've got 2.2 here, okay, as a decimal, okay, and here I've got 5.5. Now, I want to find the next whole number. So if I multiply, okay, so I can multiply each number to get the whole number 11. Okay, so 5.5 times 2. Okay, so if I have two grey blocks, okay, and 5 red, okay, that will give me the same amount actually. Okay, so I've done this obviously based on decimals. 5.5 is same as 5.5 is decimal, and 2.5 is the same as 2.2. I picked a number 11, okay, and I tapped into my calculator. I said, okay, well, does 11 divide by 2.2? The answer was yes. It gave me a whole number 5, so I need 5 of these blocks, and I know that double 5.5 gives me 11, so I need 2 of these. I need 2 grey ones and a red one. Now, of course, some of you may ask, okay, well, why did I pick 11? So I was just trying to test the nearest whole number. So I picked the biggest one and I tried to make that a whole number, and I got 11. And I thought, okay, well, does 11 go into 2.2? It does. It goes into it 5 times. Okay, so I tried to find the smallest possible whole number that came from a trial and error, okay, type situation. So I doubled, okay, the largest one to get a whole number, and then I said, okay, does 11 go into 2.2? It does. It goes into it 5 times, so that means that I need 2 grey blocks and 5 red ones to have a block that is 11 meters tall. Okay, the the grey one will be 11 meters tall, or centimeters tall, sorry, and then the red one would be 11 centimeters tall as well. Okay, so I need 5 red ones, okay, and 2 grey ones, okay, for that. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Okay, apologies if I went a bit diverting for that question. Right, guys, that's the end of today's video on multiplying fractions by integers. I sincerely hope you found it useful. I hope you found it informative. I hope you managed to take some notes, okay, for your preparation for any examinations that you'll have, whether it's end of term tests, end of year tests, or your GCSEs or your Key Stage 2 stats, okay, or any other form of assessment. Okay, if you did find it useful, please like, please comment, please share, and please subscribe, okay, and please put in the comments any questions, any queries, or any topic requests, and I'll do my best to reply to it, okay, and get those other videos out. But that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Abdallah Wahishi, and I run the Abdallah Maths Tutoring 2022 channel. I am also a private maths tutor for Key Stage 1, Key Stage 2, Key Stage 3, GCSE and A-level maths. Okay, so please get in touch, okay, if you're wanting online lessons. Okay, but that's it for me today, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye for now.